7-year-old Bartholomew bouncing back from his first stoppage loss to record the victory and picks up his 40th. To his second defeat. Let's go to Jim Gray.
All right, Morrow, thank you very much. Francis, congratulations.
What's up, man?
How would you assess your performance here in this fight?
What's good, everybody? We live, All Sports Media TV. You know what I'm saying? Hit that share button real quick. All right, we back. We back live. Y'all know. Rollie Romero. He's Rollie Romero. He's about to step in the ring here in a few minutes against ISMAEL Barroso. He's taking on ISMAEL Barroso, 40 years old, junior welterweight title contender. Stepped in after Alberto Puello tested positive for performance-enhancing drugs. Now, real quick, I just want to kind of touch on that real quick. You know, a lot of fighters, they say it all the time, and, you know, watching these guys, they put their body through a lot. They train hard. They spend their lives to compete in this sport. And performance-enhancing drugs, they have no place in any sport, especially contact sports, boxing, MMA, football, basketball, whatever sport you want to make of it. Performance enhancement drugs have no place in any sport. That's why Rollie Romero, he will be taking on ISMAEL Barroso. They'll be making their ring walks here pretty soon. And for me, what I'm gonna do for you, All Sports Media fans, thank you guys for tuning in. I will be doing live commentary as this last fight just concluded. Bartholomew versus Juarez just concluded. Bartholomew, he got the nod as a majority decision. The last two fights went to majority decision. One judge saw it as a draw. The other two had it in favor of the winner. Perfectly fine. You guys know how that stuff goes. So now the big surprise about this fight, I will say this, is that the WBA president came out and stated that the winner of this fight between Rollie Romero and ISMAEL Barroso will be ordered to face Ryan Garcia next. That's a mega fight in my opinion. Nah, I wouldn't say mega fight. I would say that's a big fight. We all know Rollie Romero and Ryan Garcia, they both lost to Gervonta Tank Davis. We all know Gervonta Tank Davis, 3-division world champion, simultaneously held the WBA title at 130, 135, and 140. You know, he knocked out, he knocked out Ryan Garcia in the 7th round of their last fight. You know, after knocking him down in the 2nd round. And then he knocked out Rollie Romero in the 6th round. And this is of his last fight, Rollie's last fight. And this is the first time that Rollie Romero has been in the ring since that fight. And for Rollie Romero, I would say, the build-up was good for this fight. And, a lot of people are saying this is kind of a make-or-break fight for Rollie Romero because, coming off of that loss, your opponent testing positive for PEDs, and then you have, an opponent who's kind of older. Some say he's 1 foot in, 1 foot out type of deal. So this is that type of fight where I believe, I personally believe Rollie is going to get a knockout in this fight. But we just have to see, and you guys stay tuned for the live commentary because I'm going to give you round by round commentary with this fight. I got my setup. Y'all know how I do, man. I bring you guys all that live stuff as much as possible. Again, I just want to say thank you guys for tuning in. I appreciate everything. All the likes, comments, and shares. Yeah, make sure you guys hit that share button for me. Go ahead and hit. I see somebody hit that like button for me. I appreciate that. Make sure you guys share this with your peoples, because yeah, we going up, and I got potential big time, some things big time coming up with Shadaisha Green, who's undefeated super middleweight WBC champion of the world. We were scheduled to get an interview in, but some things happened that kind of set us back. But it's perfectly fine. I understand. Life happens. Is it raining? Yeah, it's raining. Oh, it's raining again. I understand. Some things happen. Life happens. But be on the lookout. I will be getting that interview back in really soon with Shadaisha Green, undefeated super middleweight champion of the world, WBC silver super middleweight champion of the world. She is 12 wins, no losses, no draws, 11 wins coming by way of knockout. She is known as the Sweet Terminator. And, I've listened to a lot of people talk. A lot of people. She signed with Jake Paul, MVP Promotions. In my opinion, she garners the comparison to Ann Wolfe, and she's a big puncher, highly skilled, and that lady, she does things that a lot of men don't do in boxing, and that's one of the things I'm like, some men need to get back to doing the basics and the mental. There's a lot of things you need to do. But yeah, I want to say thank you guys for tuning in, and we're getting ready to go live here with Rollie Romero. Once the fighters make their way to the ring, I will be turning the sound on for the fight, but keep it down low because I got my young life in here. He's asleep, and yeah, I want to make sure I give you guys the best commentary as possible. But yeah, so let's talk about real quick Rollie Romero. As I've recently seen him do an interview with Brian Custer, and I got to listen in while it was live with Brian Custer on the Last Stand podcast. And he's Rollie Romero. Everybody knows this guy is probably going to be one of the greatest promoters ever. I mean, he's got a mouthpiece that is just different in the sport of boxing. A lot of people can't talk up a fight the way Rollie can. And watching a lot of his training videos, he's made a lot of improvements, to his defense, a lot of just technical improvements that really, really matter in any sort of fighting. And in the sport of boxing, it really matters. He's made a lot of improvements. So, just watching this guy train and watching his growth since his loss to Gervonta Tank Davis, it has been amazing. And just hopefully, like I said, I believe he'll get the knockout win in this fight. Also, what I was getting at is that he stated that he has big plans for being at 140, going after the likes of Regis Ruru Prograis, potential fight with former undisputed junior welterweight champion, Josh Taylor. He also, of course, he did say that he wants to, fight Brian Garcia. As I told you guys before, the WBA, he Zeke 458, what's good? I remember the first time I watched him, I couldn't believe he was on TV. Then he became a star. So, you know what? I agree with you. You know what? It is kind of hard to watch him sometimes when he talks, man. I'm sorry, guys, I cut off that, but I'm just, responding. It is kind of hard to watch Rollie Romero talk sometimes because it just seems like he's talking out the side of his neck sometimes, and I'd be like, dog, what are you saying right now? I mean, even if you go back and watch the very first press conference with Tank and Rollie, and he had that big fur on, and it was like 90 degrees outside. It was like, bruh, what are you saying? You got a fur on, and all of that type of stuff. Old Mac Original, what's good, man? No, the fight has not started just yet. I'm just doing, a quick introductory. Just giving my predictions on what's going to take place in the lightweight division. Not the lightweight division, but the junior welterweight division, the 140-pound division. But it's about to start. The fighters are about to make their way to the ring right now. So stay tuned. Please stay tuned. I appreciate you, brother. Thank you for tapping in. I think his stance bothers me, plus his BS outside the ring. And you know what? I can agree with that. Zeke 458. I agree with that. The way he stands is very, very unorthodox. He does not stand, the way he don't stand like a typical boxer. And the way he throws his punches, they're like stabbing hooks at times, and it's kind of weird. So it's weird for me. And I boxed in the amateurs for a little while, and I've been around a few guys who went pro. It's just kind of weird, Tank called him out and said, Tank, you can't even talk shit. Zeke 458, you know what? Yeah, he did. He said that. And you know what? He's right. You know what? Mac Original. I appreciate you, brother. I appreciate you for tapping in. Make sure you hit that subscribe and share button for me. I appreciate you, brother. But yeah, so Barroso, he's making his way to the ring right now. He just walked in. As of right now, they're showing the oldest champions in boxing, a long list of champions who won a title at 40 plus years old. They go from Gennady Golovkin, George Foreman, Bernard Hopkins, Manny Pacquiao, all the likes of those. Before the fight starts, y'all tell me who you think was probably the best champion out of those, the ones I just named, like Manny Pacquiao, George Foreman, if you old enough to remember, Bernard Hopkins. Me personally, I think George Foreman, just the historic side of it, George Foreman, I like him. I watched him when I was a kid, and although he wasn't the most exciting to watch, it was just, you knew that 1-2 was coming at some point. Southside boxing, man. Youngstown, Ohio. Okay. Yeah, that's cool. Man, oh man. Hey, you know what? Zeke 458. Send me those 10 guys, man. I'm not saying I don't believe you, but send me those 10 guys, because once that video, and Rollie, he's making his way to the ring right now. Once I say that because once that video leaked of Rollie getting knocked out in training camp, man, that was a buzz that went crazy. Silent Nova, what's good, man? I will show you the fight, but honestly, you know how that goes. Sometimes you show stuff like that, and you can possibly get banned. All the copyright issues. I'm not a partner, so I can't show that right now. My hope and my dream is to become a partner so that I can do that. People like I don't know if any of you guys follow Blue Blood Sports TV. He is a partner with BLK Prime, and when he showed, the Terrence Crawford and David Afanasian fight, he was allowed to do that because he was a partner with it, And no worries, bro. Yeah, I appreciate you, bro. I appreciate you for tuning in, man. I appreciate you big time. But you know, it's just certain things you can and can't do, so you have to, you know, move accordingly out here. So, you know, they're going over the tail of the tape right now. Barroso has a 69-inch reach. Rollie Romero has a 66-inch reach. They both came in at 139.5. You guys, y'all know the typical fight rules. No three knockdown rule. Only the ref can stop the fight. All the basics, you know. So Jimmy Lennon Jr., he's up. He's letting everybody know what it is right now. And, you know, the fighters are getting introduced. So, yeah, while they're getting introduced, like I said, you know, you guys tap in. Let me know who you think was the best champion in the sport of boxing that was above the age of 40 years old. You know, excuse me while I get this set up a little bit. That way I can kind of tune in and watch the fight a little bit. Was the best fighter in the gym. He was way better than his dad was former world champion Greg Richardson. Yeah, okay, I can rock with that. Stay committed and you'll be a partner, bro. Trust God. I appreciate that, Silent Nova. You know what? That's what it is. You know, I'm staying down for sure. And you know, I got some more big news coming too. As you know, before this fight gets going, George Kambosos Jr. He'll be fighting Maxie Hughes here in my home state real soon, sometime in July. And he signed that multi-fight deal with Top Rank. He was gonna fight in Australia, but I did do a video on this, and there's a guy, Matt Rose, I believe he has all the pay-per-view rights for all Australian fights. So he decided to fight in the States, and they put it here in Shawnee, Oklahoma. So my plan is, I'm from Oklahoma, Zeke 458, I'm from Oklahoma. So my plan is to be in attendance for that fight, to give you guys some live updates on that fight as well. So yeah, okay, I see y'all said George Foreman and Bernard Hopkins. I can agree with that. You know, B-Hop, he was that dude. He was that dude for a long time. And George Foreman, you know, he had to come out of retirement and do his thing. And have any of you guys seen his movie that just came out? You know, the George Foreman documentary movie, or movie covering his life and everything. Let me know if you guys seen that and how was it? Because I want to see it. I know my wife, she said she wanted to see it. We just haven't had time to get out there and see it yet. But yeah, so as of right now, both fighters, they are in the ring, and they look ready to go. Rollie, he looks ready to go. So I'm gonna get this sound going a little bit. Just, you know, keep it down just a little bit, and we're gonna see what we can get up out of here. Rollie Romero, he's getting his little final introductions. So yeah, I'm from Tulsa, Oklahoma. You know, one of the biggest cities in Oklahoma, I guess. You know, a couple of boxers from here that are known are James Quick Tillis. He fought Tyson back in the day. Iron Mike. You know, there's a lot of other boxers that are coming up out of. If you know Jeremiah Dreamland Milton, he's a current heavyweight undefeated boxer. Zeke 458. Yes, I'm familiar with it, man. My stepdad put me on the boxing when I was a kid, and I definitely have always been tapped in with the sport of boxing. So yeah, I'm very familiar. All right, the first round just started. So Barroso, he comes out. He's you know, trying to establish right now control of the ring right now. Rollie, he moved around just a little bit. He's trying to establish in the center. The biggest difference I see out of Rolly right now, the biggest technical difference is he's keeping his hands up and he's taking his time. He's throwing his jab a little bit better, bringing it back, and his offhand is staying up. So that's the biggest part of the growth I've seen out of Rolly, and a lot of tell me Rolly gets dry, called dry. I mean, we have to wait and see. Zeke 458, we have to wait and see. But like I said, the biggest growth I've seen in him right now is he's throwing that jab and his offhand is staying up, and the thing about it is he's throwing it and he's not throwing it wild and he's not throwing anything wild behind it. So he's staying patient. He's staying patient with his punches. So that's the biggest thing right now that I see with Rolly. And that was one of the things same thing with Ryan Garcia. That got them both knocked out is they were not patient when fighting. So, you guys know, you go into these world title fights, you go in there with guys who've been there, you have to be patient sometimes. As of right now, Rolly, he's got Barroso closer to the ropes. Good 1-2. So he's real patient right now. He's taking his time, kind of filling him out a little bit is what it's looking like. Parrying the jab. It's good. It's a lot of improvements I'm seeing from Rolly right now. I would definitely wait. There you go. Okay. He got kind of clipped a little bit. He tried to check hook him, but he got clipped a little bit. But I would definitely wait to see what goes down rounds 2, 3, and 4. Only problem I can still see with Rolly right now is that he dips his head after he throws that left hook. He just dips his head this way, but his hand still kind of goes down a little too far. But whenever he's throwing his jab, when he's standing straight up right now, is he's bringing it back. He's bringing it back. So that right now is a good thing that Rolly is doing. So under 10 seconds, about to get the bell. 3, 2, 1. I can say that was a fill-out round. Honestly, I would say, the judges, I don't know. I would this fight is made for Rolly. If he takes a loss, he needs to take it. Hey, you know what? And y'all, I agree. You know what? In my opinion, after Alberto Puello tested positive for those PEDs, I believe this fight was Rolly's for the taking. And it's no slight to Barroso. It's just when you facing the stronger, younger talent, I agree with you. He should be able to win this fight and get the stoppage. But like I was saying, I think the judges might give that round to Rolly. He had a little bit better jab work. He did mix it up a little bit. So, we can give that round to Rolly in the first round. Now the start of the second round is going down. Barroso comes out. They both come out trying to establish the center of the ring. Both are kind of working the jab. Barroso, he's coming out southpaw. He's a southpaw fighter. One thing that I say Rolly needs to do is possibly pick up the pace just a little bit. It is a thing of being too patient. And right there, he has to pick up the pace and not throw that wild left hook. That's one thing that got a lot of guys fighting, the top contenders is throwing that wild left hook where you just kind of throw it and you dip your head down and you get caught. I mean, you can go back and look at when Canelo fought Billy Joe Saunders. I actually thought Billy Joe Saunders was doing really good in that fight. Some of those rounds were even, but once he got to dipping his head and Canelo was picking up on it, he started throwing those uppercuts, and of course he broke his eye. But as of right now in this fight, Barroso, he's established center, and Rollie Romero is working his way around the ring, showing his footwork. He's moving around really good, I would say, and for my liking, that's good right there. They almost got a knockdown. Keep your head up. I just subscribe. Appreciate you subscribing, brother. I thank you. Make sure you hit that share button for me on some of the videos. I appreciate you for tuning in. I got plenty more coming. But Barroso took a slip. It wasn't a knockdown. The ref called it a no knockdown. Rollie Romero, he did have established center of the ring for a quick second, but it seems as if with a lot of his improvements, he is seeming like he's content to kind of stay on the outside a little bit, which is fine. It shows a different side of Rollie. If you watch Rollie in the past, he's shown a lot of aggression and come forward. And a lot of power, but you know, other than that, I would say Rollie Romero, he looks a lot better in this fight than he did with the Tank fight. He's grown a lot. His footwork, he's using his footwork. He's definitely doing that, and he's definitely using his jab a lot better. He's making Barroso miss, making him miss a lot of wild punches as well. But yeah, thank you guys. It's down to 10 seconds in this round. In my opinion, I would probably give this round to Rollie. He made him miss a lot. He did land a few, but it wasn't too much landed in that round. So I would definitely probably say this round probably goes to Rollie. You can say Rollie's probably up 2-0, maybe, just depending on what the judges have. I'm not a judge, so if y'all get mad at me for the way I'm scoring it, argue with your mammy. Matter of fact, go argue with the judges. I just play. Yeah, I would probably give that round to Rollie. It looked decent though. So yeah, they're back in the corners. Right now they're going through, you know, what happened in the second round. But yeah, my prediction was that Rollie Romero will win this fight with Alberto Puello. Even with him, I thought he could win this fight in 9 rounds. And that's without the major improvements that I've seen and I see right now. So I still think third round just started. I still think Rollie can get a knockout in this fight. He just have to remain patient, but not be too patient. So as of right now, they're both kind of in the center of the ring. Rollie's still working his jab. For my liking, he's just a little too patient. Or someone says Rollie lost first 2 on another channel. I mean, yeah, you know, the real songstress. I mean, you know, those first 2 rounds, they were close. I'm not disagreeing. That's why I said, in my opinion, you know, you could probably say Rollie won the rounds, and it's no slight. You know, I'm not knocking you, the real songstress. Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate you tuning in. Make sure you hit that subscribe and share button for me, if you will, please. It's much appreciated. But yeah, it's no slight to him. You know, these early rounds, a lot of times when you got guys that are too patient, sometimes the rounds can definitely go the other way. So I agree. It's non-existent. I heard no, he's throwing it better. He's not landing it flush as you would want. The jab is there, but it looks better, is what I'm saying. It definitely looks better. I just heard someone else say, okay, yeah, I got you. I'm just saying, like, it looks better, and when he's defending, it looks better. So he's made a lot of technical improvements, but he just has to seize the moment, is, you know, where I'm getting at. And he has to not let this guy press him so hard. You know, Rollie, he definitely is a fighter that likes to press. So when I say, like, he's using his footwork and moving around the ring a lot more, maybe he's a little uncomfortable. Maybe it's just something different outside of his game plan. But for me, I would definitely like to see him turn up the heat just a little bit. down to the last 30 seconds of the third round. Oh, down goes Rollie. Down goes Rollie. Oh, shit. Down goes Rollie. Excuse my language. He caught him with a straight left. Down goes Rollie. Oh, damn. Excuse my language. Oh, damn. Rollie Romero got knocked down with a straight left. Barroso is feeling it. I just think, man. And you know what? The real songstress, we gonna see if he's matured, because remember the last time he got knocked down and was out. The problem with Rollie is, as I'm watching this sequence back, he does not move his head off the center. Yes, yeah, he got back up. He the ropes caught him. And you know, some refs, they call it the correct way. If the ropes are holding you up, they may call it as a knockdown. And that's what happens. The ropes, they held him from hitting all the way on the canvas. His glove hit, so he had to call it as a knockdown. And that's what happens. He's backing up. He got caught. And yep. You know what? Hey, him not having a chin could be the case. And at this point, you know, he looks better. He don't look like he looked like he recovered well. I give Rollie that. Started the fourth round, he looks like he's recovered well. I would say he hit him clean. I wouldn't say it was like so hard. He just hit him clean where Rollie was trying to lean back instead of moving his feet back. But when he was leaning back, he didn't move his head off the center, so he caught him clean. But it was a good shot though. It was a good shot. I didn't expect that. But yeah, it definitely looked good. So we'll see what Rollie comes up with in this round. As of right now, Barroso, he's still pressing him. Rollie, he's spinning him off a little bit with the jab. He tried to get him off a little bit right now with a 1-2. He's got kind of the shoulder roll thing going. I mean, honestly, I don't think that's really the best part of his game. I think he should probably move around that. Yeah, Tank didn't hit him hard. Honestly, you know what they say, that well-timed punch, precision and timing beats that speed and power. And, you know, that's what Tank hit him with. It was just watching him and timing him. And that's what he did when he timed him when he was coming in. You know what? I agree. He does need to train more. Real songstress, he train more and talk less. But you know how that goes. When you're able to, you know, build your brand and talk your way up into these fights, it makes you marketable. You know, that's what, you know, a part of today's boxing is. And you know what? I won't even say it's just today's boxing. You look at the history of boxing, look at the best boxers. Look at even Muhammad Ali when he was Cassius Clay before he fought Sonny Liston. I mean, he was still a big talker. And, you know, a lot of people were saying like, man, this guy talks too much, this and that. He just talks too much. And then he told everybody he was going to beat Sonny Liston. And when he did it, he said, oh, I'm the greatest, all of that. He said all of that. And everybody was like, oh, what? And he went out and did everything that he said. So, you know, it's okay if he talks, but I agree with you. He does need to put more training in. He does need to put more time in. So I agree with you 100% on that. As of right now, fourth round, Rollie is down up under the last 30 seconds. Rollie had him in the corner. I believe he probably should have pressed him a little bit more. He let him out of the corner. Now Barroso pressed him back. So, in my opinion, this fight could either be Barroso up 4-0, or it could possibly be somewhat even. Maybe. We don't know. We just have to see what the judges... I'm going to wait and see what the unofficial scorecards are, and I'll let you guys know what that is. Yep. Ali, he definitely could back it up. He backed it up, you know, many, many times. And yep, I agree. Rollie has Rollie has everything to lose in this fight. because of where he's talked himself up to and where he said his plans is and where he's trying to go. Yes, Barroso, he's boxing really well. Honestly, I didn't expect him to box this well. He's boxing really well. Looks are deceiving. Don't judge a book by its cover. And I'll be honest, that's what I did with this one. I thought Rollie Romero would probably have him down pretty bad right now. So that's my fault. Judge a book by its cover, it comes back to bite you. Rollie Romero, he's boxing really well. Barroso, he's boxing really well right now. He's pressing, establishing himself in the center. He's got Rollie moving around the ring on the back foot. He's boxing pretty well right now. Starting the 5th round, Rollie's same thing, moving around. Barroso's trying to press him and all of that. Good. Sorry about that, y'all. A little break in the action, but fight's still going. And it's pretty much still going the same exact way right now. Barroso, he's definitely pressing. The only problem I really see with Barroso is he's not cutting him off, and he's overreaching a little bit, but every so often he's landing some decent body shots. It's a tune-up for Garcia. You know what? It should be a tune-up for Garcia, and as of right now, it's not looking like a tune-up for Garcia. It's looking more like an actual challenge for Rollie, because he's not engaging right now. Barroso's pressing. He's not cutting him off, but Rollie, he's like moving around the ring like he's Caleb Plant, Floyd Mayweather type, like that 12th round, just moving around. And he's not really cutting him off too well. Maybe that could be an age thing. Maybe he doesn't have his legs up under him right now. I don't know. But yeah, he's definitely not cutting him off like he should. And Rollie got caught with a lead left right there. Rollie almost went down again. I think he might be losing this round too, because he hasn't really thrown much and he hasn't engaged much. So that was a good left check hook. Rollie caught him coming in, but he's definitely gonna have to pick up pace, because in my opinion right now, I could have only scored. Yeah. I get you. Where it was that point. Yep, you're right. But where Rollie stands right now, outside of the first 2 rounds, I honestly probably don't give him anything but the first two rounds, if that, at this point, where I just believe he needs to pick up the pace and start engaging more. We're in the 5th round, and it's looking kind of shaky. So yeah, he's moving too much for my likings. I don't know, maybe this is a part of the game plan to try to outbox him and outpoint him maybe, but there's little things that he's technically doing that he still needs to work on. And if you watch Rollie, he's crossing his feet. The 5th round just ended. So if you go back and watch that round, which I know a lot of people will, you go back and watch that round, Rollie Romero was moving around really well, but at certain points, you can see Rollie Romero, he was crossing his feet, and we all know that's not a really good thing. When your feet get crossed and you get caught, you're going down probably. It don't even have to be the best punch. It's just one of those punches that can catch you and you just going down. So, yeah, as right now they just showing, some of the highlights of the 5th round. That's my only problem with Rollie is when he moves back, he's moving straight back and his head's not getting off the center. So he definitely has to improve in that aspect of things. I think he can. I think he will. But with this fight, I think he's learning some things about himself and learning some things about what he lacks. He should have learned that in the last fight, but it didn't go this long. It didn't go this well. He didn't fight this well for him to learn that. So we in the 6th round, top of the 6th round. Barroso still pressing. Rolly's still moving. He's throwing his jab out to kind of find the distance as of right now. So, yeah, I believe Rolly, he definitely should look to start closing the distance. It's a good 1-2 right there. I think he should look to close the distance on him and not just be too content to fight on the back foot the whole time. Good body shot from Barroso right there. Do I think Rolly's looking for the knockout? I wouldn't say he's just looking for the knockout, because he's just, maybe he is. That's why he hasn't thrown that right hand as much. He's waiting for the perfect time. But you know, there is that thing where you just be too patient and your time just doesn't come. That was a good right hand by Rolly right there. So Jay Balak, thank you for tuning in, brother. I appreciate you. Garcia, he can possibly KO Rolly, but we'll have to see what if Rolly and Garcia throw at it next. John McGee just tuned in. Who's winning the fight so far? Up 6 rounds. As of right now, I'm gonna say Barroso is up 1 round. Thank you for tuning in, brother. Harrison should be upsetting Rolly at all. If this fight goes past 6-7 rounds, in my opinion, Barroso. You know what? I agree. This, I think. Well, I won't necessarily say. I did say that I believe Rollie Romero could possibly win the fight initially with Alberto Puello in 9 rounds, but with this, I don't know if Rolly is just trying to buy his time or trying to pick his time. So I'm gonna say, yeah, where it's at right now, it shouldn't possibly go past 8. That's my opinion. Good little engage right now. End of that round. John McKean, I just want to say thank you. Shout out for tuning in, man. The Plug 88, thank you for tuning in, brother. John Bellick, the fight may go to this. You know what? As of right now, it looked like the fight could go to distance. With the way Rolly is fighting, he hasn't thrown that right hand as much. He hasn't engaged as much. So yeah, the fight looked like it could possibly go to distance. You know, that's one of those things where you know, a fighter could be just too patient. You know what? Plug 88, I agree. I agree. I did underestimate him myself. I would say that because, you know, sometimes that step-in opponent will step in and just be there for a check, and they may not look to actually fight and engage in the way that he's doing. He's here not just for the check. Clearly, he's here because he wants to win this fight. He wants to win this title. So, yeah, I can say, yeah, we probably underestimate him a little bit. And he's given definitely a better fight than I would say anybody probably could have predicted as a step-in opponent with only, you know, a few weeks of training to prepare for this opponent. And as of right now, Steve Farhood has Barroso up on Rollie Romero, 58-55, winning the first 3 rounds and the 5th round. So yeah, that right there, you can say that's about accurate. I can agree with that because I did say those first few rounds were kind of hard to judge. You know what, Anthony Yah, it could be ring rust because the last time he fought Gervonta Tate Davis in May of last year. So yeah, ring rust could be a factor. In my opinion, he should have had at least 1 or 2 fights since then. You know, that's why I tell people all the time, when you those long layoffs in fighting, it's hard to judge where a fighter's going to be. You know, a lot of people are. We'll talk about even the biggest fight in boxing with Terrence Crawford and Errol Spence is the layoff, and both of them have had extensive layoffs. That fight right there, you never know what you're gonna get because both of those guys haven't fought much in the last 4 years. So yeah, I agree that ring rust could be a factor. But you know, just thinking on the age difference, you know, what I've seen in Rollie's training camp, that he should be able to win the fight. That's just what I was thinking. But under the last minute in the 7th round, you know, Rollie, he's still being a little too patient for me, man. I believe he needs to start throwing that jab and throwing that right hand a little bit more. These last few rounds, I don't know what his trainers are telling him, but I feel like he needs to start throwing those punches a little bit more, stringing them together and putting together some combinations. Once he closed the distance, the few times that he did, he looked really good. He definitely landed some shots, especially on the inside. So I think he needs to stop moving around so much and kind of sit on his punches a little bit. Yeah, he's still making them miss. I just think he needs to sit down on his punches. Not necessarily, that was the end of the 7th round. Not necessarily just sit there and trade with him, because you never know what can happen. One punch can change anything in the sport of boxing. But where Rollie is sitting at right now, I think he needs to sit down on his punches more and not move around as much, because he's down, according to the unofficial scorecards, 58-55 before the end of that round. That round right there could have went to Rollie, but even then, you're still down on the cards. So he definitely needs to pick it up and throw more punches in volume at least. And like I said, when he is on the inside, when he closes the distance, he's definitely landing a lot more punches. So I think he needs to try to work his way in a little bit better. You know what? And Anton, that could be a big factor. Getting knocked down early could be a mind thing. And even from the last fight, since he didn't take a fight in between that, it's been a year since that. That could be a big factor, is that he hasn't fully regained the confidence to bounce back from that. And then we're looking at the unofficial scorecards. It's now 68-64 in favor of Barroso. That's the unofficial cards, all right? Remember, the unofficial cards, Steve Farhood has it 68-64 in favor of Barroso over Rollie Romero. See, and Rollie Romero, he's getting countered pretty easy. You know, I think Rollie, I think we're 8 rounds into this fight, and I think where Rollie is, I don't want to just say it's fully the ring rust. I also want to say it's accountability. Maybe it's time for a switch up in teams. You know, we've all had to go through those point in times where we had to, you know, switch up those around us. Not because they're bad people, but maybe because they're not telling us what we need to hear. So that's what I'm thinking. Although he did look good, I'm not going to front on you guys. He did look good in training camp. He did look good technically. He was showing a lot of improvements. But as of right now, live in this fight, maybe he's just not being told the right things to win this fight. That's just me. Barroso's still pressing him. Now Barroso's cutting the ring off a little bit better. Not super great. Good uppercut by Rollie right there. It's just one of them things, man. I just feel like he's moving too much and he's not engaging enough. So these rounds are slipping. Yeah, I agree. This fight should be over within the next round. This round or the next round. I believe with him being an underdog, yeah, I agree with you. It should be over. But for what we're seeing right now is he may be the underdog, but he's showing that he's the bigger dog right now. And Rollie Romero, he's just too content moving around. Okay, that was a good little combination right there by Rollie, but he's moving around, he's moving out of it, and he's not engaging. That's the biggest part. So down to the last 8 seconds, 10 seconds, 8 seconds in the 8th round, and you know, Rollie, he don't seem like he's willing to engage. You know what? He might not want to get beat up, but at the end of the day, you have to engage. You have to trade those punches. You have to not just move and try to be out of the way from, you know, catching a shot. You know, you have to get your head off the center. You have to be able to counter, not just counter. You have to be able to willing to be first sometimes, and that's what Rollie is lacking right now. You know, it's showing highlights. Rollie getting caught to the body, but although he's getting caught to the body, he's definitely coming out of those with some good jabs at least. But he's not moving his head off the center. And so y'all, yeah. Like I said, man, I agree with you. You know, I agree with you. So started the 9th round. Has just started. Rollie's coming out. He's got the center. Now he's pressing a little bit. Let's see if this be the change in what we need to see. Steve McCall. As of right now, I got Barroso up. I agree with the unofficial scorecard, 78-73. As of right now, that's who I've got winning the fight. Thank you for tuning in. Hit that share button, that subscribe button for me. I appreciate you, man. Thank you for tuning in. Now we see Rollie pressing a little bit. Okay. Oh, Rollie. Rollie knocked him down. Rollie knocked him down in the 9th round. Rollie knocked him down. 7, 8. He's up. Rollie knocked Barroso down. Let's see what Rollie do. He come out the way I said he should. Let's go. Let's see what Rollie does. There you go. Rollie countered him. He's got him on the ropes. Barroso's grabbing onto him. Let's see if he can make it out of this round. Rollie's pressing. This is what I believe he should have been doing. He's pressing. He needs to move his head off the center. If he moves his head off the center when he's pressing out, and the one problem with Rollie is he's not paying attention to his lead foot on the southpaw. He has to pay attention to that. He has to learn that. But all in all, he's winning this round, and he's definitely pressing. Rollie's turned on the gas. Yeah, I thought he would have got him out of there. Like I said, I predicted the 9th round. This is where I thought he should get him. So let's see. He's pressing him really good. He's got him on the back foot. Under a minute to go. Rollie's throwing some good hooks. Where Rollie's standing right now is he's throwing those same kind of hooks he got caught with, those same type of punches he got caught with against Tank Davis. So we have to definitely hope that Rollie could get him out of there. If he gets him out of there, that he doesn't get caught with something. Right now he's got Barroso up against the ropes, and he's got him in the corner. He's catching him inside. Oh, they stopped the fight. Rollie wins by stoppage. Whoa. They stopped the fight. Rollie Romero wins by 9th round. I called it. Didn't I tell you guys? I'll be honest with you. That was controversial in my opinion. Rollie Romero is your WBA junior welterweight champion by 9th round stoppage, and I called it. That is crazy. I personally believe that fight should have went one more round. Whoa. Zeke 458. I mean, he was getting beat, but you know, I think this was kind of a bad call to stop it this early. This is my opinion. That's my opinion. I thought the fight should have went one more round. Yeah, we all got to hear his mouth now. We definitely got to hear his mouth. This is crazy. I thought that fight could have went more round. Rollie Romero, he embraces his father right there. He shows some love to his opponent. Yeah, congratulations for Rollie. Yeah, he was getting worked. I ain't gonna lie, but me personally, I thought that fight could have went one more round. Stoppage was weak and ill differently. Tune in to watching Barroso. Yeah, I agree. You know, that stoppage was kind of, people are going to look at that stoppage and think like, you know, the same thing I'm thinking. I thought that fight could have went one more round. Now they're showing the replay right now. Rollie was catching him inside. And Rollie, he just kind of got on him right there. And maybe this is why he stopped him. As Rollie was throwing these punches and there was nothing coming back. And you know, sometimes when a ref sees you getting hit and you may be standing up and you may be looking, but nothing's coming back and you're barely defending yourself. So maybe that was it. I don't know. But honestly, with Barroso boxing so well and potentially being up on all the judges' scorecards, I definitely would have let this fight go one more round. That's just me. Good thing I'm not a ref, I guess, right? Yeah, I mean, he as of right now, it was, I mean, Barroso, he kind of looks like he was tired or gassed, but I definitely would have liked to see this fight go one more round. That's something I probably would have liked to see. And then he stopped it, and it was just like, ah. Let me look at this one more time. Let me look at this. He caught Rollie with a hook. Rollie comes back with a straight. He misses a shot. Rollie catches him with a hook. He misses with a straight. And then he misses an uppercut. I don't know. For him being 40 last longer. Yeah, I agree. He lasted longer than what he should have lasted. You know, here we go with the fighters. They embrace each other. Good fight. I agree. He lasted longer than what I thought he should have lasted. It wasn't the best fight for Rollie. It didn't look the best. So, all in all, it was Rolando Rollie Romero, WBA super lightweight champion of the world. That's crazy. That's crazy. I definitely would have wanted to see that fight go one more round. It was one of those things where the fight just didn't look like it was ready to end. All right, let's listen to Jim Gray.
Did you think this fight should have been stopped?
Man, I'll be honest, man, he'll worry when he keep going, he should have been able to keep going.
Yeah, see, even Rollie agreed. He should have been able to keep going. They both wanted to keep going. Rollie agrees.
I mean, I boxed the entire time, you know, I came in a little cold, I got cracked, you know, and I faked around like a champion, and I kept going, and I got the victory.
Yeah.
When you went down,
Yeah, that's kind of crazy.
last time that you went down against Tank Davis, you said he made a mistake against Tank. Went down here tonight. What did you learn when you got up to continue the fight?
I took my time, moved around, and man,
Yep, I agree. Both fighters should have been able to keep going.
So many rounds. There was not many punches that you threw. Why?
I mean, sure, you think I want to get caught by one of those?
Yeah.
I told you can crack. I told everyone you could crack. I knew you could crack.
All right, let's take a
Well,
look here. That was not
Rolly pretty much is saying that he knew the guy could crack. He knew he could throw some bombs. But I mean, we just keep it in perspective. Even though he can crack, even though he can throw some bombs, it don't matter. In my opinion, Rolly should have been engaging a little bit more throughout this fight. And although they stopped the fight, I personally believe, I say it again, it could have went at least one more round. Well, in my opinion, I just want to say, I'll just close out with this. I just want to say thank you guys for tuning in. I appreciate all your comments. I appreciate everybody who liked, shared, and subscribed this. You share that? You share that? You share it on your page? Share it. I appreciate everybody who hit that like, share, and subscribe button. Thank you guys for tuning in. Be sure to follow me on All Sports Media TV on Instagram and KJ the Great 09 on Instagram. Thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you, brother. If you fight like this against Garcia, he will. You know what? We're gonna see, man. I think he could lose to Garcia, but we're gonna see. But thank you though, Angie, y'all, man. Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate your comments, man. Thank you guys, and be sure to tune in sometime within the next week. Like I told you guys, I got an interview coming up with Shadesha Green, the Sweet Terminator. 12 wins, 11 wins by way of knockout. She is the WBC Silver super middleweight champion. She was the mandatory to fight Franchon Cruz Dezern, but Savannah Marshall had already had a deal in place to fight Franchon Cruz. So the WBC mandated that the winner of that fight has to fight Shadesha Green. In my opinion, I believe she'll win regardless of who she faces. We know that there is some history between Shadesha Green and Cruz Dezern, so that makes up for a great storyline. We also know that the potential storyline between Shadesha Green and Savannah Marshall has big implications on women's boxing all around, as the winner of that will probably entice the #1 pound-for-pound women fighter in the world, Clarissa Shields, to potentially move back up to 168. So we'll just have to wait and see for the future. But outside of that, thank you guys for tuning in again. I appreciate it 100%. Love you guys. Love engaging with you guys. Definitely ain't gonna do this again. Be sure to tune in next week as undisputed lightweight champion of the world, Devin the Dream Haney, takes on the Matrix, Vasily Lomachenko, in Las Vegas, Nevada, defending that title. Big time, massive fight. I will be covering that. So I'll let you guys know this coming Wednesday if I will be doing a live viewing of that fight. Be sure to tune in. Thank you guys again. Peace.